Former Energy Secretary in Trump's first term, Dan Brouillette, joins me now. Dan, how are we going to get to run? How are we going to run Venezuela's oil industry for years to come? How are we going to do it?
It's a good question, Stuart. It's a really good question. But look, I think what the president's doing, what Chris Wright is attempting to do, I think is exactly correct. It's time that we turn Venezuela around. For too long, it's been outside of the norms, if you will, of not only the marketplace, but the world itself. They've been in bed with people like Hezbollah. They've obviously had troubles with the cartels. So the mission here to turn Venezuela around is absolutely the right mission. How you do that is going to be very difficult.
You see, Dan, look, we just put on the screen pictures of a refinery, I think it was, or an oil facility in Venezuela that's entirely run down.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing's just bust. To fix that, well, you probably have to have some American oil executives and oil workers go over there. That's not exactly boots on the ground, that's engineers on the ground. You're probably going to have that. Can you see that coming?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Chevron's been there for quite some time, as we've talked about in the past. And you have other American companies that I think are willing to do this. But Stuart, as you know, I mean, what it's going to take is some level of certainty. We have to have regulatory certainty. We have to have legal certainty. We have to have investment certainty. Does it have to be perfect information? No, probably not. These people are risk takers. But nonetheless, they have to understand what will be the lay of the land in the future before they take on this investment risk. But they are willing to do it. And I think it's going to be necessary to do that. American technology, American workers, American engineering are going to be needed to repair Venezuela.
I just want to bring in Energy Secretary Chris Wright. Here's what he had to say about this. Roll that tape, please.
First, you're going to see existing operations improved. You know, you just bring down some new pumps and compressor stations, just fix some surface equipment. We can grow Venezuelan oil production pretty quickly. To get the major investments for the large-scale field developments, those are the things that take larger and take the big players, like the Chevrons, the Exxons, the Conocos. But all of them are very interested in what's going on. The interim authorities in Venezuela, they're very interested in how they can get their oil industry back going forward again, not only to stabilize and grow production, but to get the corruption out of it, get the criminality out of it.
He's saying, Dan, yeah, there are short term, you want to get production up, you're going to have Americans right there fixing out those refineries. They will need, as you said earlier, they'll need security, won't they? I mean, it's not an easy task.
It's not an easy task. And Chris is right. I mean, there are some things you can do at the margins to increase production. There are some things that we can do to get that oil into the open market. I mean, pipeline capacity is very, very low in Venezuela right now. We can improve those things fairly easily. It's also important to remember, Stuart, that look, at the high water mark, Venezuela was only producing about 3.5 million barrels per day. The world uses 103 to 104 million barrels every single day. We use 19 million barrels here in the United States every single day. So we're not talking about resetting the world market by bringing Venezuela back online with production. What we're talking about are changes at the margin. This is heavy sour crude. Our refineries in the southern part of the United States are set up to refine that type of crude. If we can get that crude back to the United States in a very stable, predictable way, then what we can do is reduce the cost for those refineries and, by extension, reduce the cost of refined products like diesel and gasoline to the American consumer. That's the right thing to do.
Got it. That would be good to see, too. Dan Brouillette, thanks for joining us, sir. We appreciate it.